It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? I kind of like the high five, but if you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. At ChumbaCasino.com, choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Who remembers the BJ and Bill show all those years ago on WOLZ? Well, many have said they missed the show, and guess what? They're back! Welcome to the BJ and Bill podcast.
Welcome to BJ and Bill, the podcast, a part of the Podcast Playground Network. This episode number 58. Welcome aboard.
Thank you for joining us, everybody. As always, if you would like to, we would love it if you would spread the news and share the love. Feel free to rate and review this podcast with a 5-star review on wherever you are hearing your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, doesn't matter, wherever you're listening. We appreciate it, and feel free to review it and all of that good stuff. And of course, look us up on Facebook and our regular group at BJ and Bill Podcast on Facebook, and you'll just do a quick search. You'll find our group there. There you go. How's it going, young man?
Oh, let me go get my cowboy hat this morning. let me do my best Stephen A. Smith. How about them Cowboys?
And I was telling you before we started recording, I usually scroll like Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that, just as I'm, getting ready for bed at night and that sort of thing. And he was already on Twitter, like right after the game ended. I love watching him react. I love to react to him reacting because he's so funny and he's so over the top. And he was just couldn't hold himself back. He was just funny. So yeah, how about them Cowboys? Boy, they took one on the chin last night out in San Francisco.
No kidding. But, I will tell you this, when it wasn't one of my teams that were playing and the Cowboys were playing, I was always like that kind of like standby Cowboy fan. But after all these years watching Stephen A., even I have jolted to like, how about them Cowboys? I actually I enjoy them losing just to watch him on Monday morning.
Well, they were America's team. I mean, that's literally was not their name, but I mean, that was their marketing. They were America's team. They had, all the big names and good old Jared Jones, and the cheerleaders, of course, and all of that. And they were America's team. They were, they came to your football town. It was a big deal. And they're almost now, they're like a football meme. They're just, in fact, I remember like 2 or 3 weeks ago, like after the end of the first weekend of NFL play, somebody posted on Facebook, well, the Cowboys have been mathematically eliminated from the playoffs this year. Oh, that's awesome.
I saw a great meme today as it had the Cowboy star.
Right.
And they go, this is not a logo. It's a 1-star review.
I've seen that too. It's both a logo and a rating. So the only question is, and I'm just curious because, you probably didn't. I did. Did you stay up and watch the whole game?
Pretty much, yes.
Pretty much.
I will admit, after they got quite a bit ahead and then I knew they were safe, I went over and watched Big Brother.
Oh.
The wife and I enjoy a little bit of Big Brother every now and again.
Okay.
But I did see the end of the game again, and I got to, on Monday mornings, I have to start wearing my cowboy hat.
You do.
Whenever the Cowboys lose.
You do, yes. You got I'm happy to see you have your Tampa Bay Buccaneers new baseball hat on right there. Very
brand new.
Very
I just got it this last week.
I saw that. Very nice. And of course, the Bucs had the weekend. Two of three of my teams had the weekend off. So the Bucs were off. The Cleveland Browns were off. Not that I really care that much anymore. But and my Jaguars had a good weekend in London this weekend. So they were there. That's kind of interesting. They were in London 2 weeks in a row. So they were kind of like the home team. They Atlanta went over and played them, and then yesterday as well. So yeah, it was 2 good games.
What was really weird about that game, because I watched some of it. It was like they were a hometown team. The way that the Brits were going wild and making noise. It's like it was home team atmosphere for the home team.
It was a home team atmosphere. It really was. So yeah, I thought that was great. I mean, I don't know if that was a huge deal or whatever, but yeah, it was a big time deal. So good for the Jags. They're coming back finally now. So I was going to look up some scores there, but my internet's a little slow, so we'll let that catch up in a minute. But yeah,
the thing I think I noticed the most about Sunday football.
Yes.
No Bucks game and no Taylor Swift sighting yesterday in NFL action.
At the game. That's correct. But there was a picture on social media somewhere, and Facebook, Twitter, I don't remember. She actually did fly in the team jet with Travis Kelce, didn't she? I saw her coming off the plane, a picture with him. I don't know if that was this week or last week. I'm pretty sure it was this week, but no sightings. Yeah, it's that. I don't get that. I get it absolutely, but you know what I'm saying? It's kind of
maybe
weak.
She goes, I want this to be your day, not about me. Maybe she was being, the loving, supporting girlfriend.
Yes. I mean, that would be good. That would be good. I was thinking, and I was actually talking to another friend about this. I'm like, if you're the NFL, if you're, the front office in New York, you're the big shots at the NFL. Is that is all of this Taylor Swift, Kansas City hype, hoopla, whatever? Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? What do you think? Does it bring in, because every 16-year-old girl now is going to watch every Kansas City game, I think. So does it bring in fans or does it alienate fans who like just play the football game kind of thing?
Back in our days of BJ and Bill, what was our philosophy about press?
Just
no press
the name right.
Is bad press.
Just spell the names right. That's it. No press is bad press. So
although she would have been there, can you imagine if she would have been there just before the halftime when he went down and they had to take him in the locker room? He'd go, "Oh my god!
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my yeah." I know.
Her and mom clutching each other. Oh my god! What happened? But then he comes back and scores a, second half comes back.
Yeah.
Scores. Nothing wrong with him.
Nothing wrong with him.
Maybe he was just a little lovesick because his woman wasn't in the stand.
Okay. Where was that game yesterday? Let me look here. Where was that? I don't see it here. All right. Where the heck are you? Was the game at Arrowhead or was it in Minnesota? Yikes.
I think it was in Arrowhead. I'm not for sure.
Okay.
Though.
So my question would simply be, of course, who the heck would want to go to Minnesota? It's probably a pretty time there in Minnesota now. Who knows? It might be. I don't know. But, if you're Taylor Swift, you got better things to do than to be in Minnesota on a Sunday afternoon. Pretty much everybody does. But when you're Taylor Swift, you have the money to make it happen. So
the old meme was, though, once he went down,
yeah.
Halftime, Taylor called him and said, "Shake it up. Shake it up."
Yeah. So is that and of course I think I even said that last week, one of the great memes of all time is, Taylor Swift makes $1 billion off of writing songs about the mistakes she's made with men in her life. And now she supports Joe Biden. So there you go. So, but now that she's with him, is that a curse? Or, yeah, they're doing fine. I'm pretty sure that the Kansas City Chiefs will be fine.
There's got to be a time where she actually finds, a man that maybe she appreciates and loves. She deserves happiness like the rest of us.
Of course she does. Everybody does.
So we'll see how long it lasts.
I don't think a football player is the guy, though. I think this is just another fling, and it'll be trust me, this will be 5 or 6 great songs in another year. No matter how it goes.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Well, I hate to do a lot of Taylor Swift news, but I know you don't follow Taylor Swift.
I do not follow Taylor Swift. No.
And I don't really, but I guess one of the Jonas boys are getting divorced.
Uh-huh.
And so he is also the same Jonas brother is also an ex of Taylor Swift's.
Oh.
So like his newest ex and Taylor now are like best friends, and they're like going everywhere together except for, well, I think she went to the football game last week.
Oh boy. All right, you're right. There's a lot going on there. So yeah, it's just, and that's like you said, that's a better topic for a different podcast. It's not really our wheelhouse, as they say. So anyway, you enjoy Taylor Swift, good for you.
How's your weekend?
Good, quiet. Didn't no girlfriend this week. I think I mentioned last week that she was leaving town for a business trip. So she has been in exciting New Jersey for the last, since last week, mid last week. Comes back this week. So yours truly was home alone. I was like, what's his name? Like McCulkey. No, it was quiet. I watched a lot of football, and I grilled a steak or two, and I worked on a couple of website projects that I'm working on, online stuff. And that was it. I got to admit, I didn't do much of anything. The weather was so beautiful here. I actually have been going out and getting back into the habit of going for a walk every night, because us old people, we need our exercise. So yeah, that was it though. I mean, how about you?
I was going to say no problem with you not having the girlfriend in town, because I don't need to live vicariously through you anymore.
What?
Nope.
What?
I've moved on.
Oh,
I'm now
my
watching
God.
The Golden Bachelor.
Oh, yes. I think I watched like the first 10 minutes of when the ladies show up and get out of the limo, because that's always a cute or fun or interesting bit. But that's been it. So anyway, tell us all what's going on with the Golden Bachelor. So he's, trying to find love at our age. What's that?
Very exciting.
Very exciting.
The Golden Bachelor and one of his
Yes.
little bachelorettes were kind of, spending some time together.
Uh-huh.
And they both noticed they both were wearing hearing aids.
Oh.
And not just in one ear, but both had
Both.
hearing aids in both ears. It
How
was riveting television.
riveting television. Honey, I love you. What? Honey, I love you. What? I love you.
Another thing, I don't know if I know you don't watch The Bachelor. The wife and I watch The Bachelor.
I none of it. Sorry.
I just like
Sorry,
it.
not
like
sorry.
I just like it because, especially when there's a lot of women, they have these little cat fights, and they're really fun to watch.
Right?
It's almost as good as watching the NHL.
So are you saying there was a cat fight amongst the older bachelorettes?
No, well, there hasn't been one yet because it's only a couple,
okay.
But it'll probably come before it's all over with.
Oh my goodness. I can't. What do older bachelorettes have to fight about?
Oh, they'll find something. Come on, it's television.
They got to stir something up. I understand that. I get that totally. But I mean, if it's not, well, I don't know.
If you're not a fan, which I know you're not, of The Bachelorette, at the end of each episode, usually he hands out the roses.
Yes. And which means what, by the way? See, this is how lame and unplugged in I am. What does it mean when he hands out the roses? Is that like
means
one of you gets fired? Oh, gets to stay.
If they don't get a rose, their ass is out the door.
Ah.
So, and I hear, and I'm wondering if it's happening with these ladies also. When the Bachelorette has these rose ceremonies and these cocktail parties and everything, the last, before they hand out the roses.
Sure.
They usually don't hand out the roses till like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
What?
I think they like to get the women tipsy, tired, and cranky. I think that helps with the drama.
I know I would be tipsy, tired, and cranky at 3 a.m.
So on the rose ceremony, the women are standing there in front of the bachelor, like, Louise, will you accept this rose? Oh, yes, I'll accept the rose. So after the rose ceremony was over, it was like a clip that they played at the end of the show.
Right.
And one of the bachelorettes were saying, you know what? We're senior citizens. We should be sitting down. We shouldn't be standing up waiting for him to pass out all the roses.
It's way past my bedtime. Well, it's way past
and
my
I'm thinking,
bedtime.
If I had to stand there while he calls all these girls, or, if I was like, I was one of the bachelors,
I get it.
I wouldn't want to stand there for a half hour as he called each bachelor up to give them their rose. I'd say, hey, can we take a break? I'm getting tired over here.
Can we do like the Publix deli? Can I take a number, please? And you call my number when it's my turn? Because I'll just keep shopping in the meantime. That's funny. That's hilarious. So, yeah. And like you said, they're doing it all for television, of course. They want to, stir the pot a little bit more as if it hasn't been stirred enough. But so, again, I don't watch, and apologies to everybody who did. Do they do like the regular bachelorette things? night in the hot tub kind of thing or whatever?
They go on dates, and they
go on dates.
They have special dates, and they have group dates, and they have rose ceremonies, and they have conversations.
Right.
And what's really, I don't know. I haven't, thank God, lost a partner from death, but he has, and a few of the bachelorettes has. And I will admit, I'm a very weak man when it comes to tears.
Oh,
and a few of the conversations have about both of them losing spouses, and how, they would just like to, in their older years, find love again and have someone by their sides. And a couple of them have been pretty emotional. And I've seen there's been a few tears that have dribbled down my face as I watched The Bachelor, and the Senior Bachelor, or the Golden Bachelor. That's what it's called.
I do get it. I really do. I understand that. And I'm sure that's part of what they were going for, the emotion of it. That's always powerful TV one way or the other. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah, they always told me too, like, even with request,
yeah,
if you can make somebody cry on the air, that is golden.
I remember that. I remember that from BJ and Bill on the radio. And I remember when we used to have our old friend, Reverend Gregory, the psychic medium, and he would start telling people stuff, and you just hear him start bawling on the other side of the phone. And I remember BJ Odom looking over at me going, oh, this is so cool. This is great
radio.
That's ratings gold when you get somebody to be openly not openly emotional, just not like, you don't want people like pissed off and screaming or whatever, although that might be good ratings too.
That's good radio. That's good.
Works.
That's good Bachelor.
Yeah, that worked for Rush Limbaugh for a lot of years. But yeah, I get it. So all right, so I stand corrected. Just strong emotions. Because why? Because we don't usually allow ourselves that openness, that vulnerability, and when it comes out, it's powerful. It's big time for TV, radio. It doesn't matter. So I get it. Here on the podcast, maybe we need more people crying here on the podcast. Who knows? We're
sitting there one night as they're discussing, their spouses passing, and
right.
I looked over my wife. I go, dear, I hope you can get on the Golden Bachelorette when I pass. And she goes, I'm not marrying another man as long as I live.
You're it, big boy. And when you're off this world, when you check out to the great beyond, she's coasting. And who can blame her?
She'll probably try to date Mickey Mouse for all I know.
If he's young and, studly, who knows?
Though, now, speaking of Mickey Mouse, to change the gears a little bit.
Sure.
Steamboat Willie is now public domain. not Mickey Mouse, but Steamboat Willie is now, as of either this week or next week, public domain.
Which was Steamboat. For those who don't remember, I mean, none of us were alive back then. It was 100 years, right? Is it 100 years or is it not?
95 years, actually.
95 years. In 95 years, the patents or the copyrights or the whatever on everything, that they're only good for 95 years, right? So Steamboat Willie, the cartoon, obviously that means came out in the 1930s, which is correct. And so now that's interesting. That's super interesting. So was that character, that little mouse piloting the steamship down the river that everybody has probably seen 1,000 times? So that character named Mickey Mouse or not? I guess not.
I guess Steamboat Willie. Now, here's what I've been told. As long as if people want to use the likeness of him,
right,
they can. But Mickey Mouse, I guess there's another, is copy. I don't understand the whole thing, but Mickey Mouse himself is a patent maybe or something.
Perhaps. Or
so you can't use, you can't call him Mickey Mouse.
Right.
Because you can't use Mickey Mouse in anything.
So in other words,
by Disney.
We're not planning on getting a letter from any particular attorneys after this show hits the airwaves saying you can't use Mickey Mouse or what, because we're not, just so our lawyers know, we are not attempting to use that name in any way. But Steamboat Willie, maybe so, who knows? Maybe we'll put him on our next promo. We'll put him on our next promo. I love it. So 95 years. That's applies to a lot of things like music and all kinds of things too. After 95, like there's a book in the personal development, in the personal growth space called Think and Grow Rich, which is the one that started it all. I mean, without Think and Grow Rich, there's no Tony Robbins, there's no, all of these guys. And that one that's in the public domain as well. So if you wanted to, you could republish it. You can't change it. I mean, but you can republish it. You can, whatever you want and do. I mean, most popular book of all time, absolutely public domain, the Bible. You can publish the Bible. You can, you can't change it, but you can, although a lot of people have tried. But yeah, you can publish the Bible all you want. And, it's been around for a little while. So there you go. I don't know why I got off on that tangent, but I did. So there you go. Yeah,
there are songs now that you can, sing on television without having to worry about or radio.
Right. That's right.
But happy birthday, I think. When did because like in restaurants, you can't sing happy birthday legally because of BMI ASCAP.
Really?
That's why they go around going, happy birthday. It is your birthday.
Yeah, they change it.
We want to wish you a happy birthday.
My favorite, and I say that with a grimace on my face, my not favorite is, and I love the food, is Texas Roadhouse. We have one right down the road, and I've been there a number of times. And when they have a birthday, which is about 6 times a night, you're going to hear some loud singing and stomping and clapping. And it's like, oh my God, really? Can we just group all the birthdays in one part of the restaurant and do them all at one time, please?
What I think? Once an hour? I don't want to accuse people, but I think some people lie just to get the free ice cream, because once it starts, it seems like you could go one night and not hear a single one. And then the next night you can go and you hear like 7 in a row. It's like, well, they had a birthday. Let me get that. They got free ice cream. Let's tell them it's my birthday. Okay, let's tell them it's your birthday.
I hadn't thought of that, but that's quite the good little plot there. You could go birthday to birthday to birthday and score some free ice cream. Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
I didn't.
So, are you saying you've done that? Are you saying you've done that or not?
No, I didn't get the free ice cream, but I did go. My birthday week one time, and I said, "Yes, this is my birthday, but I'm not getting on the damn horse." They put you on that saddle.
Wait a minute. Which restaurant is this?
Texas Roadhouse.
Oh no, I've not seen that. Thank God.
Then you have a fake Texas Roadhouse. The one in Fort Myers would do
Texas Roadhouse.
The one in Fort Myers would do it. The one in Kissimmee would do it, and the one in Claremont does it.
Seriously.
It's like a horse.
What do they like bring it to your table?
Yeah, it's not like it's like a sawhorse, where you're sawing thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a horse with a saddle
Right.
on it. I don't know if it has a head or not. I don't know if it does. I can't remember. But
Wow.
on your birthday, they'll go, saddle up. And they have you set on they'll announce your birthday, tell you to saddle up, and you'll jump on the little horsey.
I'm going to be honest. I've never seen that. Now you're going to make me go to a Texas Roadhouse for my birthday. And I'm going to ask the waitress, where's my horse?
I want to saddle up.
She'll say, sir, he's right there on your plate, medium rare.
You mean you're serving me horseman?
Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming, everybody. Have a good week. All right.
Now let me ask you this,
That's
since we're
awesome.
talking about this. I actually always have a little special place in my phone, in my, because you can put, different emails and different little folders. I have a birthday folder. I clear it out at the end of every birthday. But I'm one of those guys. I am that guy.
What do you?
I'll get an email from almost every place
that has a free offer or something.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm that
you
guy.
got 10 different restaurants that are all like, oh, come in for your birthday goodie.
Some of them make you come in,
but on your birthday.
Yeah, some of them make you come in on, and some of them will let you come like a week or two or the month of your birthday.
I have not heard that strategy. Rules for Living from BJ Odom, ladies and gentlemen. I'm thinking that's a great strategy. I need to sign up because I know I get 3 or 4 birthday emails from various birthday clubs and all of that stuff. But yeah, to have one just specifically to go out and sign up for some of because I would do that with some of the fancier, more expensive ones. Like, some of the really high-end steakhouses or something that have a really, nice dessert, or maybe even a BOGO, a buy one, get one or something like that. So yeah, you're a genius here. That's great. Well, I don't know if it's your idea, but it's a good one. This phone I show you. Yes.
I have an envelope. I have a little, folder for restaurants apps. You can get a lot of free stuff when you buy, if there's a restaurant you go to and you use often.
Yep.
You can get free desserts, free appetizers.
Oh yeah.
Don't think this boy, he playing that game every time he can. Anything I always say, man, I am a tightwad.
And that's okay. That's all right. At our age, a little tightwaddiness is okay. I am still a member of which one? Chili's Club. And that's good for like a free drink and chips every time you go in. I'm like, sweet. So yeah, there's a whole bunch.
But of course, when I go to Chili's, I get the threefer.
The threefer.
Where you get an appetizer,
right?
A drink,
right?
And you get the entree.
Man, we're breaking it down here.
Okay, yesterday. Actually, it was yesterday.
Yeah.
No, it was Saturday. I apologize.
Whatever.
The wife and I went to Chili's.
Yep.
We got the threefer.
Yep.
Where we both got soup for our, pre-meal. We both got a drink. And we both got the burger.
Good choice.
And so our bill came to like $22, I think it was. We went to McDonald's like a few days, when we were coming back from our vacation, because I remember this.
Right.
And she got a quarter pounder, fries, and a drink. I got a kid's meal. I got a kid's meal.
Okay,
I didn't even get an adult meal.
Okay.
So we only spent like $4 more.
Right.
And we got a big juicy burger at Chili's.
Right.
We got soup. We got French fries. And we got a drink. And I got an adult hamburger. And we only paid $4 more.
I have seen there was a picture. Some dad took a selfie in his minivan, and it was dad and like 4 or 5 kids coming back from soccer practice or something. And he's like, Taco Bell drive-through, $52. Not kidding. And I'm like, wow. So yeah, you're right. I mean, if you play the game right, there's There's opportunities everywhere, BJ. Opportunity is everywhere.
And please tell me also, if you go to Roadhouse,
Yes.
you go between 3:30 and 5:30 or 4:30, whatever it is.
Yes. For the, are we really going to talk early bird specials? Are we really having that discussion? A couple of old guys talking early bird specials. Oh my God. It's come to this. It has come to this.
You know what, though? A lot of these early bird specials,
Yes.
they aren't just for seniors. I remember when the wife and I were younger, we would try to hit, Texas Roadhouse during happy hour and some other restaurants that, had little happy hour specials.
Sure. I don't think you can discriminate based on age. I think if your 25-year-old goes in and says, I'll have the, because early is just a time. It's not an age thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But now they do have senior discounts at places
yes.
where you need to be 55.
I remember when I remember when I would talk to my father in Ohio, and I lived there with my mother for a short time, that they had the state actually, I don't know if it was a state program or if it was a business partnership or something, but they had their Golden Buckeye card in Ohio.
Ooh.
And my father would plan his week of what restaurants he was going to by who had the best deal with his Golden Buckeye card. So yeah, for old folks and stuff like that. So I get it, but not sure you can do that. And I don't know, that age thing, you're getting on thin ice there,
Yeah, well, you still have ladies' night at some of the bars and where ladies drink free from 6 to 10.
You know what? If you hadn't have brought that topic up, I would have never thought of that, because I don't know that I could count on probably 3 fingers the nights I've, been at a ladies' night event or something like that. And if I counted on 3 fingers, 2 of them were with you, for the radio station.
Well, I remember.
And
this is going to take us back to Fort Myers, and not actually when we were on Oldies 95.
Oh, okay.
But when I was, working one of those country radio stations.
Yes.
Now I'm trying to think of the name of the place. Ricochet had change night, where you get any drink for change, no matter what. Dime, nickel, quarter,
whatever you had.
It was like, that was one of those things like, from, 6 to 9 or 6 to, buy any drink, any coin. Boy, I have forgot many coin nights.
Ricochet, where was that?
That was a little country bar. It was pretty much where the old Kmart was there on 41. It wasn't where Kmart was, but it was on the end of that plaza. It was like right by the Edison Mall.
Okay. Yes.
On the other side of Winkler.
Yeah. On the other side. I remember. Okay. Wow. Change night. Okay. Well, we're going to take time for some change here. I don't know what that means, but it was a good segue anyway. So grab yourself a refill on your coffee. I think it's time to refill mine. Whatever you're drinking or eating, get a refill on that, and we will be right back.
Okay, round 2. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Welcome back. I'm Bill Stevens. That's BJ Odom. This is BJ and Bill, the podcast. Look us up on Facebook at BJ and Bill Podcast. Email us at bjandbillpodcast@gmail.com. And most importantly, please leave us your 5-star review on wherever you happen to be hearing this podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, wherever. It does not matter. All of them have the opportunity for you to leave a review, and we would appreciate it. We will appreciate it. We do appreciate it when you do.
All right. I have a friend of mine who does a podcast. Unfortunately, he is not on the Podcast Playground Network.
Oh my God.
But he's a good friend, Mike Lee.
Mm-hmm.
And they do their podcast every now and again at a local establishment. He's from Winter Haven. He's also a comedian.
Mm-hmm.
And he also worked in when I worked in Lakeland at the country station, he worked at it's called Max.
Okay.
98.3, which was kind of like a Bob FM. They play a little bit of everything.
Oh, I like those stations. Yeah.
So he does a podcast, and they always do it at this bar in Winter Haven. And I know it's a long ways from us, but I was starting to think maybe someday we should plan and do our podcast at Mel's Diner.
Wow. In Fort Myers?
Yeah, that's a long trek. I don't know.
That's
if
a
it'd be
long
worth it.
trek. I mean, but yeah, if I was going to be there for, because I still go there once a month, maybe twice a month to see an old client, a computer client or something like that. And other stuff, I got friends there. You got friends there. That would be awesome and cool. We'd have to figure out how to record it. Although if you got me thinking Bob FM. If Mel's had Wi-Fi, and of course they do, we could just record it right to the cloud there and just take a laptop or two and take your mic. I mean, my microphone has a nice, clever little desk stand that I could take. I could do that. That would be cool. That'd be very cool. And we'd probably get a free breakfast out of it. And
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
that'd be a long way to go for a free breakfast, but there's another way to get a free breakfast.
After we were just talking about happy hours and early bird specials and all of that it would be a good way to get a free breakfast out of the deal. So yeah. And talk to our old buddy manager, Bill. I don't know if we'd have to, bring him back from the old folks home or whatever, but yeah, we'd have to find him. Sure.
As far as I know, he still sometimes does work for Mel's Diner, and he does some catering too. And I don't know if it's catering through Mel's,
right,
or if he has his own catering company. We never really did get connect, but we were talking about having him as a guest and kind of, I don't know, but that would, it'd be a long drive, but like you said, you go there once in a while. I go there once in a while.
Yeah.
We just need to time it out where we both went there around the same time. And one morning,
that would be fun and cool and interesting. So yeah, that would be awesome.
And then they could put it up on the little marquee if they still have that out there, like they did in the old days. BJ and Bill will be broadcasting live this Friday morning.
I still have the Polaroid. Yeah, way, way, way before your iPhone camera. I still have the Polaroid of me standing under the sign that reads, and I quote, BJ and Bill eat here. Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. So yeah, I'll have to post that. Do I have that handy? I'm looking around the office and wondering where I might have it stashed because I know it's here somewhere. I know it is. That would be awesome. I'll have to find it. So I'll put that on
I've
Facebook.
done some stupid things as I've gotten older. Like, when we move. Oh man, all these pictures are my past. I don't need my past. I need to look forward to my future. And I know there are pictures that have just been thrown in the trash along the years. And then there's days that I go, man, I really wish I had those pictures.
I hear you. And I have literally, I'm holding my fingers up, a stack of pictures, maybe an inch tall, of the ones that I actually kept. But I will say this, what I did do, and of course it's not as good as the original. Well, some of those pictures are so old, who can tell, that I took pictures of all the pictures so I could upload them to Google Photos and they'll be there forever. Now, when yours truly passes, I'll have to leave a password to somebody so they can get into Google Photos and find and download all of those for, Grandpa Bill. Well, there's not going to be any grandkids, but you don't know what I'm saying. So, but I'm different than you. I know that, and people have told me this. I mean, the lady that I used to live with and all that, she was like, whenever she needed help cleaning out a closet or digging through paperwork or whatever, she would call Bill, because Bill was great at just saying, throw it away. You don't need this. And I mean, I'm not throwing everything away willy-nilly, but I'm really, really good. One of my superpowers is pruning. So, I live in my 1-bedroom apartment in Gainesville, Florida, 900 square feet, and I am very comfortable, and I have extra space in drawers and closets, and things are not I prune. I get rid of stuff. And I remember that, just one more thing about that, because I remember I had to do that with my mother. When my mother passed, she left a house full of stuff. And I spent 2 weeks, and that was not nearly enough, going through stuff. And 90% of it was just throw it away. And then, okay, so there were boxes and boxes and boxes of pictures. And these are pictures of people I did not recognize. I have no idea, except I found a few of them of my father as a young man, especially one of him in his military uniform, which I love. I kept and I love. But literally boxes and boxes and boxes of pictures, throwing them away, going, I don't know you people. I'm sorry. Bless you, but you're out of here. So, yeah. So when Bill goes, it's going to be a lot easier to clean up after than when BJ leaves this world.
Well, no, it's going to be easy to clean them up after when I leave.
Right. I'm sorry. I didn't want to cast any shade on your spouse there, but yeah, I don't know what you're going to do when, thankfully.
Because my wife,
thankfully, you'll
I don't
probably
care what
be
it
gone
is.
first.
She does not throw things away. But then there are times too where I'm looking for something. And I go, I'll just go out and buy another one. She goes, you had one of those, but you had to throw it away. And now you need it. That's just why I save everything.
I understand that thinking, but it's in my mind, that's the 1 in a million. I mean, how often does that happen, that it's like, oh, I needed this thing and I threw it away last month? How often does that happen? Once every 2 years? Go and buy another thing, damn it. It's okay.
Well, that's like
Unless
we've got
like,
like those little drawers, like little trinket drawer. I mean, they're small little drawers. You can stack them on each other.
Oh, yes.
In the garage, we probably have 4 or 5 of those boxes that have like 10 or 15 different slides where you can put stuff in little drawers.
You're saying you have like 100 different drawers of stuff in your garage.
And it's got I don't care if we bought a fan and we didn't use a screw, that screw goes in there.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
We have every size, every color, every angle screw and nut and bolt. It's like, if we don't use it, I'm not gonna start this fight, because I don't want to have this woman walk in any second now and start beating me over the head
with a box of leftover nuts and bolts. I get it. I do. I really do. My father was like that. He saved. And it was funny because that was in his later years. I think early on he was kind of a pruner, kind of good at that. And I don't know if that happened as he got older and just needed something to do, or maybe there was a little, bit of Alzheimer's or senility or something there or whatever. But again, I remember. Now, see, imagine this, because this is going to happen to you. This, not to you, because you'll be gone. But, when BJ and Susan are no longer in this world, your son or daughter or both is going to have to come to that house and clean it out. And I remember that. I will remember that forever, that when my father passed and my mother was in the nursing home and I was cleaning out the house and going through the garage, I remember finding boxes exactly like that, except of course with my father, it was, old 30-year-old coffee cans, when coffee came in those metal container cans with the plastic lid, full of nuts and bolts and screws and twine and electrical cords and pieces of stuff and everything. And I would look up to the sky and I would go, really, Dad? Really? You kept by this time it's rusty and ancient and is good for nothing other than melting down and turning into new nuts and bolts. Who the hell knows? But so imagine that. And I don't know. I don't want to stir the pot here anymore, but I feel like I'm going to. Have you had that discussion with with Ms.
Oh, yes.
What is going to happen when when both of you are no longer here and somebody's got to come to that house and take care of that crap? Sorry.
Yeah, but crap. You know what? They're going to get whatever they can sell the house for, so it'll be worth it.
I understand they'll sell the house, but the house is full. And trust me, I'm speaking from experience. I did that. I cleaned out my mother's house for 2 weeks, and then I told the real estate agent, I don't care what's left. Sell it as is. And he did. And so somebody either had one hell of a big garage sale when they bought that house, or made one hell of a giant-sized contribution to Goodwill and, all of that, because it was full. It was still full of stuff. So anyway,
I have told my wife this.
Yes.
And, we all know my health issues. Probably will never happen this way. But if it does, if she would happen to go before me, I have already informed her that a sign will go in front of the house. We're having a house sale.
Yep.
Come in, pick up whatever you want. Give me whatever you want for it.
Right.
All sales are final.
Make a love donation, as they say in church. Make a love offering. I had, and funny that we're talking about this. Just literally in the last week, maybe two, I had a friend sell a house in Venice, down south of us, down there, Fort Myers, Venice. And it was a rental house that she had owned for a couple of years, and it was full of stuff. I mean, because she had rented it furnished, obviously. So there's furniture, and there's the blender and the microwave and the silverware and the glassware and all of that stuff. And yeah, she had some of it. There are companies that will come in and will do a, what do they call that? An estate sale or whatever, or they'll take the furniture and then they'll sell it at auction and give you a percentage of it.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Or whatever. But yes, when all was said and done, at the end of it, she basically did exactly what you said. She basically called a couple of friends and said, come on over, whatever you want, just take it. And I was like, no money, no nothing. She said, I'm selling the house. It's got to be empty by the end of the month. Take it. And I'm like, wow. Where was I? I need a microwave, not a microwave. I need I need an Instant Pot. Where are you? So anyway, long story short, I get it.
Now, see, I would probably tell
I would
tell the son and daughter to come get whatever they wanted, because there are probably a few things that each one of them would like.
Sure.
I'm going to say, take what you want.
Sure.
And then the rest must go. And then I'll live in a little 23-foot trailer somewhere, happy the rest of my life.
In your son's backyard. We've already talked about that one. Yeah, good luck with that. Your son's backyard. I think he might have something to say about that.
Either that, he's going to build one of those mini houses.
I love that. Those are so cool. Those little tiny houses. I love that. I could do that. Entire house in 500, 600 square feet, whatever.
Like I said,
I walk through your neighborhood. What's that?
All I need is a couch big enough to sleep on, a TV where I can put in my computer box.
Yep.
And a microwave.
Yep.
And a refrigerator.
Yep.
And I think I'm good to go right there. And my meds.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's going to take up a couple of 100 square feet right there. But yeah. Somebody, That's another one. Somebody posted that one on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, and it was literally a beautiful apartment, empty apartment, like on the 30th floor or something in New York overlooking the city. But the apartment was empty, and literally there was a fold-up beach chair, like one of those sling chairs. I've got two of them out on my porch, and a TV on the floor in front of the window, and that was it. And it's like, yes, I could live like, yeah. And it was a guy-girl thing. It was like, girls can't believe that a guy could actually live like this kind of a thing. And there were, of course, all the usual comments and posts. But yeah, pretty funny. And for most guys would look at that and go, yeah, what's wrong with that? Yeah, sure, whatever. So yeah, I get it. I do. If this was the only, I'm turning to look at my 900 square foot 1-bedroom apartment in beautiful Gainesville, Florida. If this was where I lived for the rest of my life, I'd be okay with it. I might eventually have to upgrade the couch or upgrade something. My lazy boy might wear out in a few years, or who knows, but it's fine. I'm not bringing more stuff in until more stuff goes out. Take the old couch out, put the new couch in, take the old lazy boy out, take the old microwave out, whatever. But yeah, this is fine. I'm okay with it. So anyway.
I don't know what I'm going to do with a million bears.
I don't know what you're going to do with a million bears. I don't know. And how many little crystal figures?
I don't know.
Lots, right?
Everything must go.
Yeah. Now, if I'm your son, I want the picture. I want the picture of Dad in his comedy days on the wall behind you that I can see there. Back when he had his long hair and his Hawaiian shirt. Yeah. That screams 1982. I mean, it's just, but yeah, that kind of stuff I'm keeping, but physical stuff. No, nobody needs. I mean, again, I know your son and you've talked about it. If he needs something, he goes and buys it. I'm the same. I don't know if you're the same or not, but it's like, yeah, fine, whatever. That's why there's Walmart.
Hey, guess who's having a birthday this coming Friday? October 13th.
Change of direction.
Ooh, that'll be Friday, October 13th.
Friday the 13th.
Oh, I just saw that.
Oh my goodness. Who's having a birthday Friday, October 13th?
The modern cell phone turns 40.
No kidding. The modern cell phone. We're both holding up our little iPhones here. The modern cell phone turns 40. Wow.
It was introduced in Chicago.
Yep.
And demonstrated, listen to this, demonstrated in a call to Alexander Graham Bell's grandson in Berlin, Germany.
Perfect. I love that. 40 years old. For 40 years we've been, and I don't know about you, but I got my first one when I was working at a radio station way before BJ and Bill. I was working at an all news radio station in Phoenix, Arizona. And, we used them to, I don't know, maybe they made a deal with the phone company or something, but I had one of those ones that a bag phone. Did you ever have one of those? It was a bag about the size of a shoebox, leather bag, very nice. I mean, the thing probably cost $2,000. And that was back then when $2,000 meant something. It had the regular receiver and the cord on it, and it had a little antenna that stuck up out of the bag and all of that. And it was just the coolest thing. And you could pick it up and call somebody. It was like, wow. But it was like carrying a brick around. It was like carrying a cinder block around with you. Yeah.
Yeah. I was working at WDCQ.
Yeah. Fort Myers.
AM 1200 in Fort Myers.
There you go.
I was doing a remote. And they were, talking about these. I think it was at maybe what was that? What was that? Bell? What was that company? Now it's no.
Oh, AT&T.
Well, it was called Bell, whatever.
Bell South or whatever. Yeah.
So I went into this, and they had the leather, like you said, the bag phone.
Yep.
And I ended up buying one. That was my first cell phone. That was probably more, it wasn't 40 years ago, but I bet it was a good 35 years ago.
Right.
30 years ago.
Would have been for me too, I'm sure.
But yeah, and we talked about this on one other podcast.
Right.
You paid for your calls by the minute.
Yeah. And well,
It wasn't
everything,
like you got unlimited minutes.
right. It was kind of like in the
60s.
old days when you'd call long distance across country on a wired phone and you were paying by the minute. So
I think it started out being like 60 cents a minute or 50s. I don't know.
it was crazy expensive.
Yeah.
And here we are today where, and I've used this cliche. It's not a cliche. It's one of those little factoids that the phone you carry in your pocket right now, the iPhone, the Android, it doesn't matter. The phone you carry around in your pocket right now is 10 times more powerful than the computers they used to put man on the moon in 1969. I mean, it's unthinkable, the technology you have in your pocket, and we don't even give it a second thought. It's like, oh yeah, my phone, great, I take pictures with it. Oh yeah, I chat with people around the world for free. Unbelievable. I'm still blown away by that. I'm an old man. I guess I'm not a kid. I'm like, of course it's a phone, Grandpa, get over it. I'm like, okay, fine. Whatever.
Well, that's like nowadays too. When you see a newscaster, out in the field, a lot of times they're scrolling their phone. They're almost reading it like a teleprompter sometimes.
Yes.
And as we do our podcast, I write down a few little notes, about football and other things that go on in, the world for the week. And I have it here on my phone. And when I'm thinking, when we're running out of things to say, I open it up and find me a topic.
I've seen people do that on videos on YouTube, and it's gotten to the point now where it's totally natural. It's totally natural where somebody will be talking to the camera or whatever and look down at their phone for a second and go, oh, like you said, it's just a reminder. There it is. And yeah, I do that all the time. And everybody does that all the time. It's just, I just hope we don't get totally sucked into the matrix, but that remains to be seen. We'll find out in years to come. So
I don't know. There has been days, we talk about, which I don't smoke, you don't smoke.
Right.
But the people that were so hooked on cigarettes and they just could not give it up. But
Right.
There was actually a chemical that you put in your body. There's no chemical that I put in my body, but I don't care. I'll be sitting there. I don't care what night of the week it is. If I'm watching television, a football game, anything, and a commercial comes on, this goes in my hand and it just kind of scrolls what's going on here, what's going on, there. Okay, commercial's over.
Yep.
And I have even tried to put this on the other side of the room. So I've got to get up and go get it.
How's that working for you?
It might stay there for an hour if I'm really lucky.
An hour? Wow.
But it ain't going to be much longer than that. And now you're in a restaurant. You got your wife. You got your kids. You got, their kids. You got grandkids. You're sitting there waiting for your dinner to come.
Yep.
They're all sitting. Maybe one or two people are talking while everybody else is
scrolling their phone.
On their phone.
So 2 things about that. About the restaurant, you are absolutely positively correct. And I don't have an answer for it. It doesn't need an answer. It's what I'm doing. Girlfriend and I go into a restaurant unless something is going on, and that has happened 0 times. Girlfriend and I go into a restaurant, I leave the phone in the car. My phone stays in the car. It just does. Now, some restaurants, that's how they put you on the list when it's crowded and you come in and it's like, give us your phone number, we'll text you. Okay, the phone might be in my pocket for that. I get it. But the phone stays in my pocket while I'm with somebody at the restaurant. I'm old. I find that I want to be with a human. How's that? So yeah.
Now if we are out with friends,
yeah,
a lot of times it'll be in my pocket.
Right.
But every once in a while with a friend, you're kind of like, oh, the wife and she's talking, and
yep,
me and the guy, we're not talking.
Oh, right.
Okay,
dopamine.
Quick look. Okay.
Little dopamine hit there.
But
I was going to ask you, but when it comes to watching TV, you don't have a tablet, you don't have an iPad or anything like that?
No, I wish I did. I had one that I probably have had for 20 years.
Right.
I think I even had it, maybe when BJ and Bill were together.
Woo!
And it is somewhat
old,
decaffeinated.
Yeah. I have an iPad. It sits on the couch next to me while I'm watching TV. And sometimes I don't come back when the commercial ends. Sometimes I'll find something that I'm scrolling on the iPad that and I'm in the habit now of when the commercial comes on, mute, sound off. Because if I find something that speaks to me literally on the iPad, I want to, quick little YouTube video, quick little this or that or whatever. And sometimes if I get if something catches my attention on the iPad, all right, the TV comes back from the commercial, but it's still on mute. I can watch the football game or the baseball game with the sound turned off. That's fine. And so, yeah, iPad worse. It's worse because the phone is nice, but it's small and it's easy to do, but that iPad is big and bright and it makes beautiful sound and all that stuff. So yeah, it's I get it. I do. So
yeah, I really wanted another iPad, but for now, I just have the phone and I have the print on the largest print that it'll pop up.
Right. Yeah. Girlfriend has that. And mine's pretty big, but girlfriend has that too, because her eyes, she's getting ready for the same surgery that I had a few years ago. And so, yeah, her, you look at her phone and it's like 3 letters at a time. I'm like, how the hell do you read that? And she goes, if I don't do that, I can't read it at all. I'm like, oh, okay. I get it. So there you go. Another reason to get an iPad. You could make it really nice and big and you got a big screen to play with. So there you go. Get on it. So, but
every once in a while, I'll leave the house without the phone.
What?
It's like, leaving your house without crack, it's like, what? Oh my God. What?
Right? How do you do that?
I don't know. Once in a while we'll go, and if one of us has our phone, as long as one of us has our phone, we figured, okay, we're safe. Everybody who would really need to get a hold of us in an emergency, has both numbers.
Yeah,
they don't have them memorized, but they have them on the little button they can push. Nobody memorized.
Nobody. That's another thing. That's another thing that phones and computers do is they release you from having to have a memory. I don't remember any phone numbers. I couldn't tell you my own phone number. Well, I could, but that's other than my phone number, I couldn't tell you anybody's phone number. I just say, Siri, call BJ. And she does. And it's like, okay. Or I go into contacts and find your name or whatever. But yeah, I don't know any phone numbers. I don't know nothing. I don't have to. And I don't think that's a good thing. Our memory is shot. So anyway. One thing I do remember is this show lasts an hour and we have talked for an hour. How about that, BJ Odom? Good job.
Oh my golly.
I know. Barely broke into your list of things to talk about other than Stephen A. Smith and football. So all good. Last thoughts?
How about them Cowboys?
How about them? Somebody get Jimmy Johnson on the phone somewhere. That's awesome. Final thoughts?
Not really. I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of thoughts at my age.
I understand that too. That's what the phone is for. The phone keeps the thoughts in your head somewhere that you can use them. So there you go. All right, folks. If you do nothing else this week, remember to come back next week for the BJ and Bill podcast. How's that?
And and let's say you're a newcomer to the podcast.
Yes.
You can always go back on, Spotify or Apple.
Yeah.
And you can start at episode 1. And let me tell you this, if you were not a BJ and Bill fan in Fort Myers when we were on the radio,
right?
If you listen to those first 1, 2, 3 episodes, you'll get a complete history and you'll kind of know a little bit more about the BJ and Bill show and how it got started, what happened, how we got fired. It'll all be on the first 3 episodes.
BJ's bad heart, the whole thing. It'll all be right there. It's all. And yes. So if it's like Netflix, you can go and binge BJ and Bill all you want. Boy, that would, I'm going to worry about your sanity if you do, but a few at a time might be a good thing because get caught up. Love it. All right, everybody, have yourself a great week. We will see you again next week. Until then, it's just up to BJ Odom to say,
see ya.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void were prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.